Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. You are watching StarSeries and we are in the last game of day 29 of StarSeries group stages. That means that tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow we're going to have 6 games in total. So this is our 7th last match of the group stages. We're going to see Alliance. This is actually their last game in the group stages. aSpera still has 2 more games to play, including this one. And they are going to see if they can take a game off Alliance. For their end result, it doesn't really matter. aSpera is actually looking okay in terms of they're not going to get dropped to Pro Series, most likely, and they're also not going to go to Kiev. So they're kind of in the middle of everything. We have got, of course, here, not just me here providing you with coverage. Nope, we're with 3 people in total. And of course one of those is Nahaz. You'll be seeing him in the chat over on twitch.tv/ShiverGaming, as well as in the lobby. Of course you'll be seeing him putting out stats and asking questions and trivias and pop quizzes and all that jazz. Of course also with me is my co-caster Vikemont. Welcome back.
Good to be back, Shiver. We've had some interesting games today. A little bit on the one-sided side more than we might like, but as we go into the end of day 29, Alliance, they've won the 2 of 3 that they need to make sure that they're going to Kiev, but obviously I think they want to get as good seeding as they can. And for aSpera, this would be a pretty great coup. They would be the only one of 2 teams this season to be both Na'Vi and Alliance. The other one, of course, being Power Rangers, I think, right?
Yep.
So, and we're also already kicking off with something very interesting. So we mentioned that Alliance was probably going to try to draft relatively safe for the first couple of games, and then once they actually made sure that they would make it to Kiev, they would switch over to going crazy. And second pick Skywrath Mage. I mean, Abaddon carry was interesting enough, but the Skywrath, and so early, I think this is intended to be a pick that basically bans Sharfik Storm Spirit, right? Like, I don't know if as Storm Spirit you really want to go up in that Skywrath's face.
If this is a solo mid Skywrath, then it's going to be even more annoying than otherwise, but regardless, it will be an annoying hero to be going up against whichever position he plays in. And being able to select a Bat Rider is of course great for Alliance as well. They were able to select themselves first pick, I believe. And they also got Dire, so I think that's going to be win-win for Alliance. Normally, if they don't have first pick choice, but they have side choice, they go for the Dire side. And now they got and Dire and first pick, so they're going to be very happy with that. Did they actually get first pick, or am I imagining that?
I think the Darkseer would have been the... Well, no. They did get first pick. They took Bat Rider.
So the bans from Alliance are very, very standard. We've seen Alliance for, like, this is the 3rd time today. They've banned out the OD and the tree every single time. We have got EGM in the drafter slot again, even though we have already determined that it's probably still going to be S4 doing the drafting, so he just wants to have that pretty pink color. Gyrocopter and the Rubik being removed from the pool here as well. No real surprises, as in just strong heroes that we often see. aSpera, though, I like their support combination with the Visage and the Crystal Maiden. We've seen those before, and both are able to be fairly aggressive early on in the game. And that's gonna be helping out in terms of roaming, because if they do still want to pick up the Storm, they really need to do something against that Skywrath, or they need to help Storm to get ahead real fast, basically. Depending on what Alliance puts mid, because we've seen Bat Rider mid before. Haven't seen Skywrath mid before that often for S4, but it's still a possibility. They also pick up an Earthshaker, which is pretty neat. With the Razor ban and the Lifestealer ban from aSpera still on the last 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that Alliance can run this. They can run Skywrath mid and have Bulldog on Bat Rider in the jungle. Yeah. They can run, of course, S4 Bat Rider. He's fantastic at the hero, and they could put EGM or somebody onto the Skywrath Mage. I don't like support Skywrath quite as much as I think mid Skywrath definitely has a lot of potential upside. Interesting that aSpera goes with the Mirana. So this is a hero we're seeing more lately because just of the power of the spells, really. Her scaling is okay, but it's difficult to get to that point. Her base damage is very bad, but she packs one hell of a punch between her Starstorm and her Sacred Arrow.
Yeah, and especially have got a Crystal Main Frostbite to set up for that arrow, and 2 slows in case you can't have the Frostbite as well. It is still going to be a safe lane, I would imagine. I'm still kind of surprised that they don't secure their mid laner just yet. Of course, they might want to wait until Alliance gives a bit more away about what they're actually going to do with their lineup, and that would be very fair, just to know if that Skywrath isn't going to be mid or not.
Right.
But Sharfik Storm, like, if he does want to have it, I mean, it's quite of a risky thing to leave in the pool, because everybody knows that Sharfik plays a fantastic Storm if he gets the chance. Maybe up against a Skywrath, not as much, but the risk of it getting banned out is still definitely there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the drafts are definitely shaping up very interestingly, of course. Alliance looking for a Loda hero. There's the Juggernaut for Loda. Actually, I guess it could be a mid S4 Jug too, but I doubt it. They have run it before, but it doesn't really work with the way the lineup is running. And yeah, that just leaves... It looks like aSpera think that it's going to be S4 on the Batrider, which means that Bulldog would still take a hero. That is an option. I mean, the nice thing about this Alliance draft, and keep in mind they have last pick, so aSpera won't be able to confirm the laning arrangement of Alliance before Alliance gets their last pick. So they have to sort of pick blind here, and I mean, the Storm's available, but I just don't think that with Skywrath there it's safe enough to actually go for it. I think they'll have to go with something else. Doom might work here.
10 seconds remaining.
It could be. I haven't seen
And aSpera likes running him.
Yeah, that's true. They were one of the two teams. Them and Duza played it quite a bit, actually, at the start of the season at least.
So that could work.
Yeah. It could work.
It doesn't
very well.
leave them with the mid could be. I mean, the mid's gonna be really, really hard. Basically, that's the main problem. They would have to probably run Mirana mid if they did that. The base damage, they would have to pool her to fix her base damage somewhat, and Batrider would harass her a lot. It wouldn't be the funnest thing in the world. I mean, it's that, or yeah, they just have to go for some sort of mid. There's still mids available in the pool that are okay against Batrider. It's just a matter of deciding which one they want to go for and which one Sharfik feels comfortable with.
Well, apparently Alliance was expecting Mirana or Darkseer to go mid because they banned out the anti-mage. So perhaps there's still a possibility for aSpera to just go for a carry, put Sharfik on the Mirana mid.
Yeah, could be Darkseer. Or even
Darkseer,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they have a great tri-lane setup here with Crystal Maiden, Visage, Mirana. That's very, very capable of earning kills in a 3v3. And in my opinion, you almost always want a 3v3 Alliance. That's how you're going to sneak wins from them. Yeah, DK for Sharfik. Okay. It's fine. It's a defensive pick. But he shouldn't necessarily get too trashed by Batrider just because of the survivability. Meanwhile, Alliance finishing up with a Kunkka. So, wow, what an interesting lineup. It is going to be Bulldog on the Batrider, which I had the inkling there might be. Like, I just didn't feel a Bulldog hero coming down the pipe. But they end up not going with Skywrath mid after all. It's going to be support, Skywrath, and Earthshaker for Loda.
Yeah, it's an interesting draft for sure. It's I mean, they are allowed to play around a bit more because, of course, I mean, they are pretty much secured for their spot in Kiev. I say pretty much, but they are secured for their spot to Kiev. So, yeah, they are allowed to play around a little bit here. I think Aki, well, Skywrath Mage. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see who's playing what exactly. I mean, Aki will take on the Skywrath Mage. Loda will play his Juggernaut EGM on the Earthshaker, and has got quite the set for the Earthshaker. Actually, that's a pretty good set.
Oh man, that's cool looking.
That's a very cool looking set.
Holy crap. Oh, good stuff.
Very good stuff. It's actually only common apart from the totem. Interesting. We are gonna see S4 playing the Kunkka. As said, he'll be on the mid lane. And then last it will be Bulldog playing the Batrider on the bottom lane. And we'll be going into the jungle at some point.
Yep. Looking up towards aSpera, they will try to finish their season off. If they win this, they actually are in good position to like end up pretty high in the standings when all is said and done. Sky will be going up into the off lane as the Darkseer. Then Lambda as the Crystal Maiden support. We might see him in a mostly roaming capacity, possibly, or we could just see him head off towards this tri-lane in the bottom, because this is a very strong tri-lane. He'll be joined by Blablafu on the Visage and Inquisitor, their carry player, on the Mirana. And in the middle will be Sharfik playing as wow, a pretty... I haven't heard this idiom in a while. This is a it's a Russian idiom for like somebody who's like a polymath or a jack of all trades, but he's playing as Молодец на дуде игрец. But that's Sharfik on the Dragon Knight.
Awesome. I'm glad I know that now.
Now you know.
Yep. Today I learned.
I really don't hear this phrase very often. It's like it's a pretty old...
I don't hear that phrase very often either, actually.
That's so strange. Yeah. So interesting, Kunkka against Dragon Knight. The cool thing about this Kunkka matchup is Dragon Knight's armor isn't going to be the most useful thing in the world for him here.
Yeah. Sky also complimenting EGM on his set before he gets a rest out of the lane. I mean, at least Sky can rotate into the jungle fairly safe, and I think he is forced to as well, because with that Skywrath there, interesting pick up the Arcane Bolt first, but as soon as the Ancient Seal is being picked up, no more Surge away, no more escape mechanism for the Darkseer, so yeah, he cannot stand on that top lane. He'll rotate, and he'll go into the jungle. Same thing as what Bulldog has been doing. He has been going into the jungle as well, leaving that bottom lane open, and that means that we're in a typical solo mid is the only PvP environment, and the rest is just going to be going on to see like which supports are going to get ahead in the jungle, which support's going to go jungling first, how are the carries doing compared to each other, and how are the offlaners doing compared to each other. That's going to be our first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate. I do feel that they have a very fantastic Traverse Dry lane, and I think maybe just the Juggernaut screwed with it, because when you add the Jug, suddenly you get a guy who's probably not in any danger from the combo of Crystal Maiden, Visage, and Mirana, because he can just spin to win in response. So it really threw a wrench, I think, in aSpera's plans. So they were forced to go with this sort of much more passive approach, which, okay, you get some levels for your Crystal Maiden and your Visage, but you're not leveraging the power of both of those heroes to give you an early game advantage. And, I mean, certainly Dragon Knight isn't a source of that either. In fact, right now, Sharvik's getting pressured out of the lane by Ake's support Skywrath. He's just coming in and bombing him constantly with his... what the hell's it called? With his Arcane Bolt, yeah. And Dragon Knight has no recourse against this. Like, his armor isn't going to help him at all against
And he is already out of regen. He doesn't have enough money for a bottle yet, and he's going to get torrented. Nope, he's able to dodge it at least, but he'll still get harassed, and he won't go down from it, but he will be forced back unless Lambda has got himself extra regen for him. I mean, he's got 3 tangles, but I'm not even sure if that's enough. They're going to try for it. He just really wants to have his bottle before he does anything else. And he's gonna have a Crystal Maiden trying to help him out. Look at those splashes, though. That was the clarity that was up on Sharvik, already gone. And the clarity is the one that he needs, because otherwise he can't breathe fire, and the last hits are gonna be all that much more hard. Well, now he has a bottle. Rejoice.
Yeah, this is just not an easy matchup at all for DK. And, I mean, Sharvik, we saw the stat. Oh, 50 HP is what he lives with.
Wow, scaring me here.
It really is. I mean, S4 is really dominant in this lane. It's a good matchup. He's 16 for 10 to Sharvik 7 for 0. And we saw the stat from Nahaz. I mean, Sharvik is, what, 7-1 with Storm and 1-7 with people not named Storm? That's quite the flip side. Whereas Loda apparently is undefeated ever in professional play on Juggernaut, which surprises me. But yeah, they definitely played well when he picks it.
Yeah, and normally, I have to say, normally they do pick it with the Lone Druid there as well. Just to have that, you know, combination of being able to go high ground with those two.
For sure, but it's honestly, it's a good pair. They do it with Wisp too sometimes, but
true.
Yeah, I mean, Loda likes this hero. I think he does have his. I mean, the heal's great even if you don't have a Lone Druid to heal.
That's for sure.
They do have 3 strength. They have 2 strength heroes, so they have a higher HP pool more or less as the game goes by, which is good for the percentage heal of the.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Of the
nice pauses coming off, but S4 already having some harassment here up on the Dragon Knight. And that means that, well, at least he won't be able to get a kill. I think S4 is going to be friendly enough to, you know, disengage. He is level 5, however, with of course Sharvik level 4 still, even though it's pretty close by. One of the things that's different, we have a rotating Batrider who is trying to make sure that his tower is not going to go down just yet. So he is pramming some sticky napalms there, which is very annoying up against Mirana, because Mirana doesn't really have a very high turn rate to begin with. As you can see, I mean, her cat's in the middle of a turn, but it's just so slow. It's like the most annoying thing ever. If you want to, for example, try and get away with a leap, you have to first turn around, and that's going to be not a very reliable escape for Inquisitor up against the Batrider. Batrider who has got 19 last hits compared to the Darkseer, who is sitting on 18. Both are level 4, slightly higher level now for the Batrider, as he has been getting some experience here on this bottom lane as well.
Yeah, I think Bulldog has been doing very, very, very well for himself. In fact, he's a little bit ahead. Yeah, he's half a level ahead of where Sky on the Darkseer is, so he's crushing it, frankly. I think Bulldog's doing very well, and I just don't think this tri-lane really generates that much pressure on the Batrider, just because the Crystal Maiden has to get so close, and we're talking about a hero who moves at 280 speed and then put a couple stacks of napalm on her, and she'll never get to the Batrider. So Bulldog just feels very, very safe. All he has to do is dodge the occasional Sacred Arrow, and with a quick Tranquil Boots, that's not a difficult task for him. So well played to Alliance, and maybe just after the Juggernaut pick, a failure of nerve from aSpera to not still go for the 3v3. I don't actually know with the Jug whether it's even still favorable, but certainly they haven't made it any easier for themselves.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like in the mid game, you are expecting Bulldog to get a Blink Dagger, so he is gonna create space. you're gonna expect S4, I mean, he's already doing very well in mid, and he will be a difficult target to kill. Like, what's aSpera gonna do in the mid game? Because they've got a Dragon Knight, they might try and push a bit, but the rest of their lineup doesn't really push that much. Perhaps they want to try for some ganks with the supports, but the supports are not really getting that much experience here on this bottom lane. You dodged my torrent with your DC.
It's true, you did.
They did.
I don't think the torrent would have been fatal anyway. S4 isn't 6 yet for the boat follow-up, but... I mean, I think Alliance just advancing their game plan, and I was mesmerized during that pause by EGM's the thing on his back. Like, that thing's crazy.
I know. It is just a very, very solid item to have, I think.
For sure. If he's facing away from you, it looks like a different hero,
yeah,
honestly.
He's like, he's even facing you if he's not facing you.
That is scary. That is the true sign of a mighty hero.
Yeah.
So they keep considering moving these supports into the middle to try to do something to Kunkka, and they just kind of can't, or they don't feel comfortable doing so. S4, he went for the early shield, so that just even denies some more harassment potential from Dragon Knight or anybody that rotates in. And it's really served him well, as he's just 14 denies to 0. That's the big difference for me. Loda and Inquisitor, I mean, they're more or less even. Inquisitor is a very good farming player. And even though he is on Mirana, who has very poor base damage, he now is up to phase boots. There's no issue with him last hitting. So he's doing fine. The supports, honestly, they're more or less at parity, right? Like, they're not really doing all that much worse. Sure, Lambda's behind a little bit on XP, but the trade-off is Visage is almost at level 4. But mid is where there's this big differential, and so they have to try to maybe smoke or something to loop around and catch Kunkka out.
Yeah, they have such a strong support combination as well. I mean, Crystal Maiden and Visage definitely can make something happen. But they have to get a smoke and they have to get the right positioning. As apparently, by the way, also, it seems like Twitch chat kind of has died. I think we can contribute that one to the League of Legends thing starting.
It started about 20 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that would be the explanation there then. So apologies for that on behalf of Twitch for not being able to bear with the servers. It also means that your stream might be getting a bit more laggier than it was before. We have S4, Dragon Tail's there, in comes a Frostbite as well. Torrent will still be there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. S4 will still get picked off. Sky in the end with the last hit because of his Iron Shell. Moonlight Shadow will allow them to back off as well. Sentry gets placed even, just in case. But this is the first blood. aSpera takes it home and makes sure that exactly the difference that you were talking about is going to be. Oh, Arrow misses actually. Bulldog though still taking a lot of harassment. Couple of hits needed. Should be making it out alive. His Firefly is going to save him. The creep. Yeah. Still
Sacred Arrow would have done it, but he did manage to dodge that out. So
yeah.
Bulldog survives. That would have been great to put those 2 kills on the board, but that is what they needed to do. S4 was dominating the mid. Go gank S4. So a good surge onto the Crystal Maiden to get closing distance. That gives her boots, which makes her much more capable. Ooh, S4?
Yeah.
No, I know both. It's on CD.
Yeah, he has got a full bottle as well. I mean, the turnaround of a Dragon form, Dragon Tail is pretty scary for S4 at the moment, so he doesn't want to really risk it. And indeed, without the boat, he can't really risk it at all. Perhaps if he lands this torrent though, but no he does not. No he does not. Bulldog rotating back to the base, have to fly all the way back and forth, and actually that's hurting him quite a bit in terms of experience. As of course with the kill that Darkseer got, he didn't really get a lot of experience from it and actually had to leave the jungle for it. So he's actually still slightly behind on the Batrider, but not as much as he was before at least. We still have Crystal Maiden hanging around mid, so perhaps they want to still make something possible. And look at this. Observer ward up on the high ground, they realize it's there, but they can't really reach it just yet. Oh, there we go. Hello, Aki. Welcome to the mid lane.
Now the Skywrath Mage is level 4, so he's got all 3 of his abilities, which is pretty important because you want the slow from the concussive, you want the silence, and a little bit of damage from the bolt. They've rotated EGM as well, so they're probably going to try to flip this by getting a kill on DK and just completely locking DK out of making an impact on this game. I mean, Sharfik is very far away from something like a Shadow Blade if he wants.
Yeah. I mean, this is, yeah, there's a Fisher, Torrent, boat, all comes in, and from the side, Aki as well. Dragontail still buys him some time, but not enough to keep himself up. There he goes. Aki with the last hit, Aki with the kill. So that's going to be making it even, and they have to do that, because basically, Sharfik is the one that is supposed to create space for Mirana, perhaps, to farming for Mirana, who, I mean, he's been farming okay-ish, but he's still behind on Loda, and I'm not quite sure whether Mirana can really do that much in this time. Like, he has to be getting kills. Like, Mirana has to get more than a Juggernaut to be able to have an impact on the game, I think.
Certainly Marana has a lot of required ramp-up time.
Oh, what's Bulldog
Sky.
doing? Sky. 2 stacks of sticky napalm standing in the fire. Tries to get himself out, so it takes a lot of harassment. And with the slow coming in from the Visage, he will be able to escape. Moonlight Shadow helping him out as well.
Bone 7 just changing the meta with this Darkseer deciding to go Midas as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a huge thing now, is Darkseer Midases. So if the game goes for a little while, I do think that Darkseer Midas could come into play. He can get things like Aghanim Scepter and a Scythe of Ice and whatever else he wants. So
Dragon
as
Tail
the game wears on,
up on S4, in comes a Fisher. It's enough for S4 to get away. One more hit, it doesn't do the job. 50 HP because, you know, he's awesome. And haste rune away. 3 HP he ends up with the poison ticking on him. That's quite, like, one more hit, right? That would have been a kill. Torrent comes in, up on the Dragon Knight. There's no Fisher though, no mana. Boat will hit as well, but it doesn't really matter that much. Just harass.
I like what Sharfik. I like what Sharfik does when he sees the boat. He walks straight into it. That's the way that you want to do it, because the way that S4 is aiming these, if he tries to walk away, he'll get hit by it unquestionably. But instead, he maximizes the chance of dodging it by trying to make sure he hits he goes through this sort of boat box. Didn't work that time, but it's the right idea.
Yeah, I agree. With S4, by the way, being forced back to base by that aggression, AGM actually is able to pick up some experience by himself. In comes S4 again, though, so it's only a short-lasted triumph for EGM, but still level 4 right now. Dragon Form gets ended by Sharfik, and meantime Sky rotates towards the top lane. I don't think he's going to be doing enough to stop these tower from dying, though, because this is a goner right here, so that's not going to be coming in the night either. Aki with the gold.
Tower has fallen.
And that's going to be a tower advantage for Alliance, aka gold advantage going the way of Alliance. Omni slashing, Sky, will he actually die? I think he might. He can't surge away anymore. TP coming in, and in the end, it actually is Loda that gets frostbitten. He still is able to get the kill, but he will go down for it. Another worthy trade. Can they get Aki as well? Silence up on Inquisitor. He has a leap still, though. In comes the arrow, down goes Aki. That's going to be a double kill for Inquisitor. Earthshaker going down still also, because he tried to come in to help, but he got picked off on his way there by a Visage. Blah Blah Fu able to make that happen, and perhaps they can chase down S4 as well. In comes a Torrent. Blah Blah Fu will get hit by it. Splash as well. Is it enough? Familiars helping out. In comes the slow. Where is the support? We need some support. In comes the Crystal Maiden, but in comes Bullock as well. Lasso up on Lambda. Lambda, you are gonna be dead. Arrow, though. Inquisitor. He gets himself a kill. Crystal Maiden goes down for it, but worthy trade. Once again, Inquisitor. Can he get another one? Starstorm comes out, and another hit. That's gonna be another double kill. 2 double kills for Inquisitor here when he starts to rotate from the bottom lane towards the middle/top lane. I would say that is a successful rotation.
Actually, Inquisitor played amazingly. His motion there was absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, Sharfik didn't participate in any of those kills. So what happened with EGM is actually he and Kunkka dove pretty hard onto Sharfik. Sharfik dodged the boat again, so they... Oh my god, what is Sharfik doing?
Well, he is not standing in the Mystic Flare. That's what he's not doing. He is going to go away with the Invis coming off from Marana once again. Savior of the day, and actually he's going back in. He is going back in, and the Breeze Fire. Nice. That's no... Whoa. No Echo Slams, no Fishers. It goes a Dragon Tail. Bulldog coming in, goes down as well. In comes a boat. This time it will hits up on the Dragon Knight, but it doesn't really matter. Darkseer will still go down. Aki playing a big part in that one, but still more kills going the way of aSpera than going the way of Alliance. And this time at least Sharfik was involved in those.
Yeah, that's very important to get Sharfik involved in these kills.
Oh, actually, they're going to go again. The Frostbite, the Dragon Tail Fisher will try to delay it from happening. In comes the Visage as well, though, with the full mana bar. Goes for slow. In comes nothing. In comes nothing. In comes actually Loda, but he's going to be too late to do anything here. Maybe with his face boots he can catch on to someone, but I don't think he can. No.
It's only level 1 Omni rather than level 2 Omni, which is a big difference as well. So that was actually... I would still say the Inquisitor definitely MVP of this section of the... Oh wow, what an arrow! What an arrow!
S4. One more... Oh, the extra Starstorm actually hits up on Loda. That's going to be saving S4 right there. Pretty
really
close,
nice arrow,
though.
This is amazing Marana play. He now has all of Maelstrom, actually, from these last couple of engages. 4-0-0, and he's really making up for the fact that Sharfik had low impact. I mean, you said, Shiva, that Marana needs to get more involved and leap ahead of Juggernaut, and that's what he's doing. Juggernaut's just sitting on phase drums. Marana has kind of leapfrogged that with Akala, phase, Maelstrom.
Yeah, he is higher on net worth. Not that much higher, though, but still he is indeed, I should say, leaping ahead, which is needed. In comes a Fisher, EGM running away. He's got his Echo Slam, by the way. So that's going to be him being level 6, which is great. In comes another arrow. This one will miss. But they should be able to get this tower, which is going to be the second tower to go down on the side of Alliance. Fortification actually comes out for it. Perhaps that will save its life. And we also have got Aki and EGM here. Perhaps they want to try and get it denied. We actually have S4 coming in with the torrent. The Fisher lands. The torrent only hits up an Inquisitor though. And the tower still gets destroyed by the Dragon Knight, who again dodges a boat. Looks for a Dragon Tail. Can he find someone? Moonlight Shadow is making sure that they're invisible, and he gets X-Mark spotted. S4 is going to be his target. Torrent will still hit. Frostbite is there upon S4, and S4 is actually already picked up by the Visage. Now going for the Skyred. Double kill for the Visage here. Looking for another one. Looking for EGM, who's getting chased down by Sky. In comes a Vacuum as well as the Familiar disables, and it should be another kill going the way of aSpera, and they got a triple kill up on Blah Blah Fu, who is having an amazing game. He's 4-0-4 in this one.
For sure. I mean, excellent play by Blah Blah Fu, excellent play from Inquisitor. They're really pulling it together. I mean, Alliance certainly experimenting with this composition here, and EGM should be able to still get Arcane Boots, or he's halfway to Blink if he wants it. So I still think they're in okay shape. Alliance does this a lot. They'll go down by a fairly substantial mark of kills to a team with a stronger early to mid game, and then they'll just outscale them, and they could certainly outscale this game with Jug Kunkka, and even Skywrath has some potential later, but very nice plays by aSpera. They pick up tower, they pick up a lot of kills, a grip of kills, really. Yeah. And especially, again, Sharfik now has 5 kill participation, whereas he was just suffering really, really bad early on. Tier 2 boots earn, I mean, he can start moving towards some bigger items now, and he won't be as behind as he has been.
Yeah, we have a smoke up for Alliance. Aki, GM, and Bulldog looking for a pick-off. Perhaps going towards Mirana on the bottom. Mirana, who has got indeed a hammer, and who is by herself, but is playing it very safe and secure here, so won't be getting picked up for now. And also on the mid lane, there's nobody there. Now they see Mirana again, and they turn around. In the meantime, the rest of aSpera sitting on the top lane, not in any danger of dying anytime soon. And I mean, a lot of people missing from the match should make Inquisitor a bit edgy. No, she's gonna get lassoed upon. Mystic Flare there. Easy pickings for Alliance.
Yeah. He was heading back, but they only have a sentry here, and besides they were smoked, so nice smoke gank from Alliance, taking out the absolute #1 target that you'd want to get, which is of course that Mirana, who's level 11, moving towards Yasha. Very good pickup for them.
Yeah, we are going to see a tower going down, though. That's at least the price that Alliance pays for killing off Mirana. Loda comes in still. Might be able to get the Crystal Maiden, but she gets Surge away. Mechanism there as well. In comes the boat. Hits it by Sharfik. Omni Slash on a lot of creeps, however. Loda, will we be able to do something here? His Bat Rider already picked off. Down goes the Crystal Maiden still. At least that's one. Maybe Visage goes down as well. He is silenced up for the moment, but we'll be able to land some Soul Assumptions very soon. Oh, yes, him on that creep. That's going to be a big mistake right there. Aki trying to get himself out. Another Soul Assumption comes out. This one hits. Blah Blah Fu with a double kill still. Surge away from Loda. Oh, the plays. The Moonlight Shadow. It is working out. Visage gets himself out alive. Familiars are going to chase someone down, but won't be able to get anybody anymore. And in the end, it's a 2-on-2 trade with a Bat Rider and a Skywrath for a Crystal Maiden and a Dragon Knight. And I would put that slightly in favor of Alliance, but with the positioning that aSpera had and the tower that they get down, that's going to be going the way of aSpera. Yeah, they got no deny, right? Yeah, that was just a tower kill.
I don't believe it was denied, no. Well, let me check, but I don't think so. Yeah, no, Dragon Knight got the last hit. I mean, yes, they actually probably could have gotten even another kill if that one Soul Assumption hadn't been on a creep, but still more than good enough, and Blah Blah Fu showing us the Capron-style high-kill Visage. He's now 6-0-4. Could very well be 7-0-4 if that one thing had bent his way. So he picks up the Arcanes, can now move towards Ags if he wants. He has that medallion, which is very useful. If they want to try to sneak Roshan later on, they could potentially do it with that medallion. And Yasha's finished for Inquisitor, so this Mirana is actually very legitimate as well. You can see that her net worth is a little bit ahead of where Lotus is on Jug still, who also built the Yasha.
Dragon Knight might die. In comes a Blink Lasso. Mystic Flare comes out as well as the Echo Slam and the Fisher GM. With the last hit. Every ultimate that you can think of from these three coming out, but a worthy kill for sure. Using 3 heroes to do it, it will work out as long as they don't get caught out right now, because in comes everybody of aSpera. I do think that Alliance is realizing this because they do have a ward up the high ground, so I think they saw the movement.
Yeah, they're just really trying to hold Sharfik down and doing a fantastic job of it. Once he gets BKB, he's going to be vastly more survivable. So they want to hold the BKB down for as long as possible, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I have to say this is the most even game that we've seen today. And
Sure
this is
is.
the first game that Alliance plays when coming towards a 20-minute mark. They don't have a substantial lead. They're actually behind in gold, only 1,500 gold, so it's really not that much. Especially if you consider that there's actually a tower difference of 1 tower, which basically is exactly 1,500 gold. So, in a way, that's going to be the difference that we see here. Experience graph goes towards the 0 line as well. More kills go in the way of aSpera, but later kills go in the way of Alliance, and they are looking for another one. They're looking for another one on the Dragon Knight. They have got the lasso up again in a second. So they will be able to blink lasso Fisher at least, no Echo Slam this time, but Mystic Flare will of course be there, which is of course the main damage source in this one, I think. But Dragon Knight already backing off, and Smoke Off actually for the Crystal Maiden. As the familiars will scout out at least Aki, not EGM nor...
Arrow?
Oh, a Loda.
They could get Loda here.
They do get Loda here.
That's all the arrow, because keep in mind, Dragon Knight doesn't have Shadow Blade. He doesn't have Invisrune. He only has an illusion. So there's no way that they get that kill on Loda. Like, there actually is no way unless the arrow lands. So Inquisitor still just beastly play on this Mirana this game.
Yeah, with oh, wait a second, that's the lasso, Blamafu and Sky dealing the Mystic Flare and therefore not dying from it, and will be able to get away with help of the Moonlight Shadow. We have everybody coming in for Alliance though. They would be sacrificing a tier 2 tower for this, but at least they will get the Visage for it. Well, that's one. Maybe they'll get Sky as well. That's indeed the case. 2 kills traded for tier 2 tower top, which is going the way of the Dragon Knight, who's now sitting on 2k gold, almost has enough gold
S4?
to pick up his BKB. I was gonna say S4 is gonna be fine, but everybody of Alliance has to be a bit careful here. In comes the Illusions. They'll find S4 still. Dragon Tail comes in. Torrent, and the Fisher still comes out as well. X marks the spot. That's gonna be Crystal Maiden getting almost killed off. That in comes Loda going for the Dragon Knight. 3 stacks of sticky napalm.
He's gonna Omni him.
Yeah, he's dead. Not even Omni needed. That's gonna be just a kill. 1 extra pickup coming off from Aki. There we go. That's it. Dragon Knight still killing off Bat Rider though. Omni slashed him around and will be able to get himself away.
Yeah, I think EGM should be at his blink now. Okay, he's 200 off the blink, so as long as he doesn't die, he actually activates the regen. That's how much he doesn't want to die, right? Oh, the missed arrow.
Crystal Maiden ends up going down.
They need to kill him right now.
They can't get EGM. And the bottom will keep him up. Familiars, don't get it. Still 7 stacks, just need to attack. Come on. Vacuum. Hello, Sky. Bye, EGM. In comes a boat, but it doesn't hit. And EGM gets himself out.
ES is about to become a big deal, because 2nd rank of Ultimate and the Blink Dagger. So, I don't know. It's getting harder for aSpera because Dragon Knight is still not... Why did he just... just to get back to the fight faster without a TP scroll, I suppose. Yeah. So he uses the ultimate that's going to be just solely used for movement, I guess. And he's still far off his BKB because Alliance are doing an amazing job of holding him off it. And if Sharfik had BKB, like a minute or 2 ago, they'd be in such good shape to just push down the remaining outer towers, and instead they're having to play much more conservatively than they'd like. In addition to, the fights just being a little sloppier.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Crystal Maiden, she actually got chased down by an Arcane Bolt, which is by the way maxed out completely up on Aki, which is interesting because normally supports don't really do that. They rather go for the slow, even though the slow is the same slow percentage on every level.
Right.
But she popped her Ghost Scepter before the Arcane Bolt hit, so she almost died from that. Did manage to get away. Dream Coil, Vacuum, S4, Frostbitten, and killed off.
Yeah. I don't know, I like leveling Arcane Bolt. I think it's great to get
nice sentry placement.
Yeah, that's... Yep, there's a lot of sentries, but still they get the kill on Kunkka, who has, of course, his Shadow Blade, so... Yeah. Nice to get that kill. There's the arrow, nice hit.
Yeah, some birds almost getting killed off. That's gonna be both birds killed off, but also the tier 2 tower drops. And Alliance, they do not want to fight when there's no S4 there, when there's no boat there for that aura, so they're gonna just defend. The rotation comes from aSpera to either go bottom tier 2 or maybe even Roshan. Now that S4 is dead for another 20 seconds, I'm not sure if they can do it though within that time period.
Well, Blink Echo's really scary.
Yeah.
And they don't have anything nearly as impressive. They have Darkseer, of course, but I wouldn't trust the possibilities. I think it's much better what they're actually doing, which is the wraparound smoke gank into, oh, there's the arrow. If it hits, they're going to go in.
It hits. Aki, arrowed, vacuum, Darkseer wall, Fisher there as well, coming out, Aki already picked off, still lands a Mystic Flare, but nobody is in it.
Omni.
In comes an Omni Slash and an Echo Slam. That's gonna be the end of the Crystal Maiden and the Visage, so support's being bursted down, but in comes the BKB for Sharvik, finds S4, Dragon Tails S4, in comes a lasso up on the Dragon though, he can't have the follow-up, arrow misses this time, in comes the Torrent, hits up on the Dragon whose BKB has run out, he now has to run himself out, gets Ekmark to spot it, still it is an Earthshaker that goes down on the sidelines, but it is Sharvik that is the main target. Oh my god, the Crystal Maiden trying to prove exit for that guy, but can't get it done, goes down for it, and down goes also Sharvik of course. Arrow still hits up on S4, but this is going to be the end of the tier 1 tower mid.
Yeah, the BKB just getting essentially completely nullified by Bulldog's well-timed blink. He just waited for the BKB and immediately lassoed in response, which is very crisp, smart play on Batrider from this player. That'll be his force staff once this tower goes down, and that means Sharvik is just rapidly getting completely nullified.
Yeah.
He's 2 and 6. Inquisitor's having a good game, Blah Blah Foo's having a pretty good game, but Alliance are making sure that they can't quite put everything together.
Yeah, and perhaps even now we'll go for Roshan. I think they can. I mean, they have got, as you said, they have got that Echo Slam, they've got that team fight. Actually, Echo Slam's still on cooldown, but they feel pretty safe here in this pit, so they'll try to go for it. We have an Aghanims ready up on the Juggernaut. He already has got a Yasha and his face boot, so the damage is already there, so it's scary. 4 staff up on Bulldog. It's starting to get a bit out of control for aSpera. They've lost their early game lead, their early game advantage, and they have to try and make up for it for carry potential on the Mirana and on the Dragonite. And even though the BKB is ready on the Dragonite, as you said, he's just been shut down too much right now. Inquisitor's been doing great, still 7, 1, and 3. Has got himself a Mantis Style as well as a double damage rune, so he's able to throw out a punch, but by himself he is still a glass cannon. He needs to have that tanky Dragonite to back him up. Arrows. Miss. Perhaps here comes the smoke for aSpera indeed to do. Let's see if they come in from behind. Should be possible. Dragonite goes for the Dragon form, picks up Aki. In comes the vacuum up at 3, but the lasso is already there, dragging Sharvik away from the fight. The Omni Slash hitting up on Sky, but it's not enough. The mechanism is going to be there, and in the end, nobody actually dies. Now Sky will go down as the first one in this battle. In comes the Dragonite again, is stuck for the moment, tries to go for something, but those sticky napalm charges make sure he turns so slow. Aegis gets burned. S4 will get picked up by the illusion of the Juggernaut, and that's going to be still 4 heroes dead on the side of aSpera, with the 5th one going down right now. That was Sharvik. Loda in the end with a double kill. They get it, they get the fight, and they should be getting off even the tower from this. The Aegis of course still burned, but in the end, because of that Aegis, they were able to get back and win that fight. And by the way, for people wondering why I'm holding a monologue right now, is because Vickerman will be right back. Let's see, I gave me that message, but we will see a tier 2 tower probably fall. They're still fairly careful though, considering everybody is dead, but we'll see. Familiars perhaps are still going down. One Familiar coming right up. Let's see if they get it. Aki coming in as well. Familiar getting microed completely the wrong direction into the enemy lines. This one will live though, but they got one. Which is great because there's no... actually, there's a resummon again in 5 seconds, so that's fine. They do sacrifice some tower damage up on it though, but yeah, they could have gotten the tower if they weren't so Familiar trigger happy, but oh well. That's fine. Goldcraft, of course, because of that previous fight, going the way of Alliance. Not by that much, I mean, still only just passing the 0 line, but it came from 4k, so it's a pretty big dive still. Experience graph will show it more clearly, as it was very even before that fight, and even though it's 22 to 22 on the kill score, Alliance has gotten most of the later kills, and therefore are getting a lot more. And welcome back.
Hi, good to be back.
So you
sorry,
missed,
somebody was at my door.
yeah, you missed a fight.
No, I caught most of it.
Okay.
You can't beat Alliance at Roshan, and once they take Roshan, they always beat you. So, that's pretty Alliance-ish. They're trying to catch UGM out, but nice blink.
Blink forward
maybe
from
not.
Sky as well, though. Vacuum there, not enough. As Mirana still ends up going down, apparently Blaze Valve for it.
I don't know about that.
Frostbite. In comes the silence, so not able to slow it just yet, and it's actually long enough of a silence that he cannot get the slow in anymore. The surge up for Sharvik won't work out either. And that's gonna be it.
At this point, aSpera, I mean, if they ever had control of this game, they lost it around the Roshan situation. I mean, like we said earlier, Alliance has a much superior Roshan composition, and they like to do that. That's why they're always dire. That's why they always pick these compositions that can make Roshan work for them, because it really gives them an advantage that almost no other team can consistently rely on as much as they do. So at this point, I don't think it's hopeless. I mean, Morana's pretty big, even though he has had a couple more deaths than he'd want. He's now 8 and 3. He has Mantis Style, he has Maelstrom. He can continue to develop his items out as a good damage source. And they just gotta avoid getting comboed down like that. Like, they can't have the... EGM has just had a really massive impact on the Earthshaker for stuns, if nothing else. And of course, Bulldog's Batrider has been... I love the Mask of Madness. I love this for Batrider.
Yeah, that movement speed is pretty insane. And of course, he can still go for his boosted travel as well, as he still has Tranquils up. We have a BKB up on the Kunkka, which is definitely needed because he's been the target that's been mostly focused. In these fights, and the 10-second BKB will definitely make a difference. And it looks like Alliance finds that it will make as big of a difference that they will go for a tier 2 tower with it. Just 5-man push down mid, see how far they get.
The DD is really critical too. It's going to do so much
BKB already
damage.
turned on by the Dragon Knight, goes for Loda, but Loda barely dropping here. Look at that. That's going to be Loda just staying alive through all that harass. He'll be fine.
Yeah. It's kind of like Grats on your BKB. Like, it's important, but now, ooh, Lasso.
That's a bird.
Not on what they wanted, though. Not on what they wanted.
It's like it's flying also, but it's not a Dragon Knight, I guess.
It's not a Dragon Knight. That was definitely supposed to be DK, but yep.
Different wings. Well, I know, like they're very alike. Like both are flying, both have 2 wings. It's
Sure.
Oh, he comes a blink away from Sky. I mean, they got the 2 familiars down, which is meaning that there's no cooldown up. There's no cooldown for Visage for another 50 seconds. It comes a Dragon Tail up on Loda, but in comes a Blink, Echo Slam, and the Fisher. EGM staying alive, walking himself out. Boat hits up on 3. Omni Slash is there as well. Sky trying to get himself out of this, but that's just it. aSpera is trying to run away from this fight. They cannot fight Alliance's lineup right now. Go Scepter popped, but that won't work for you, Lambda. You're dead. Inquisitor, last one alive for aSpera, the only one to get away. And that's going to be the end of the tier 3 tower. That's going to be high ground for Alliance. The healing ward from the Juggernaut, of course, able to heal everybody up. It's level 4. We now also have a Desolator for the Juggernaut, which he was able to complete after last fight. Buyback for Sky. He has got a wall still. But I'm not quite sure how much it will help out here. Perhaps he can make some good copies, Inquisitor. Will get torrented. In comes the lasso. Gets himself Sky. Silence top. And that is not going to be a wall this game. This is going to be a bot back Darkseer that dies again the moment that he shows his face. With now Visage without familiars and a Mirana left to defend their base. I don't think they can. At least they have the upside that there's still tier 2 towers left standing on top and bottom.
That's true. Alliance can't get anything more than just 1 set of racks here unless they go for the tier 4 and GG. Cool pickup of the Veil of Discord on EGM. I do think that's quite useful. Here we go.
BKB's turned on. Dragon form there as well. Looking for a pickup, looking for a target. Can't find one on Kunkka. Moonlight Shadow. Not going to be working out because there's sentry wards all over the place. And Alliance actually thinking about coming back. And comes the boat. Boat will miss. But the Fisher doesn't. Mystic Flare there as well. Dragon Knight forced out. EGM taking a lot of harassment there. In comes Lasso up on Inquisitor. The one that didn't die previous fight. Omni Slash up on 2. That's going to be Visage. That Inquisitor goes down as well. Bullock on a killing spree. And down goes the Crystal Maiden. And once again, Alliance fully alive. Picking up 3. Buyback for Inquisitor. But how much can he do?
Not much. I think they can just go Ancients for the Ancient if they want. I mean, this is typical Alliance, right? They get behind a little bit early. Teams are able at this point to beat them in team fights early on, but then they have the great set piece fights once they get to some of their levels. They have amazing Roshan capability, and like you can win a couple fights against them, but you can't win every fight, and then they just overwhelm you.
Nice
Next
vacuum into the wall though, and Bulldog will go down. Maybe S4 also is in trouble. Gets himself invisible. Will indeed be enough. They don't see him just yet. Actually, they did again.
Oh, bad echo.
That was an awkward echo. Blinks himself away instead, blinking towards the fight in the end. Aki still being chased down. Arrow flies, will hit, and that's gonna be a kill. Double kill for Sky. And because Alliance actually rotated for tier 4s.
Bulldog.
Oh, Bulldog. Lasso's Inquisitor up to the high ground. And the leap on cooldown, he's gonna be able to get away. With the haste rune especially. Inquisitor will TP towards the tier 2 tower instead. But yeah, because Alliance went for the high ground, went for the tier 4s instead, they don't actually lose more than just their mid lane.
Right. I mean, they would have had to peel way back, and I think they just thought... I thought that they could probably finish it out, but very nice vac wall by Sky. Keep in mind, he does have that Midas, so he has 2k gold on top of Blink mechanism, so can start making some bigger items soon. Mirana's still a force to be contended with. It's just that Alliance has so many options. They don't have to land everything to make a fight work. They can land the Echo, but even if they don't, they still have a lot of potential. As long as they lasso somebody and kill them early, they're fine.
Yeah, perhaps they can get themselves the last outer tower on Alliance. It looks like they will. There we go. I mean, level 16 on the Dragon Knight definitely helps with that. He's going for a Hammer's Halberd by the looks of it.
He is, and that's smart, I think, against this composition. If you get Kunkka with it, Bulldog's gonna snipe this courier. Maybe not.
Now he does. Blinks forward, down courier. Everybody blinks forward, actually. Apart from EGM, who was there anyways. They will be able to find some people, though. Dragon Knight goes for EGM first. Soul Subject comes in. That's gonna be one Dragon Knight out of play. Nice freezing field, kind of useless.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Maybe they can find some more if they can find Bulldog. There's no real arrow up in Visitor anymore, so they just have to try and hit him and see if they catch him. In comes the Sky. He might be the one to help this out. He cannot blink anymore, but he does vacuum Bulldog to the low ground. Doesn't matter. Arrow misses.
He tried to vacuum into the arrow.
Ooh, still takes a lot of damage from these bursts. Look
so
at how
weird.
high he is, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's flying, like your automatic Z-axis increase from being flying, on top of the fact that that's the highest Z-axis spot on the map, I think.
Yeah, here comes another arrow. This one will get dodged as well. Now with the slow Visitor. Gets hit by his
dodges are amazing.
Oh, you can't dodge that.
Oh, no, I mean the dodges of the arrows have been very good.
Yeah, that's for sure. We have a
I
Roshan
think
up
you
again
actually,
at
you can
34.
dodge the concussive shot, he just didn't time his Manta correctly.
Oh, Sharfik, where are you going? You know that everybody is there. Gets picked up on this slash, does a lot of damage on Sky, but he heals himself up with the mech. No vac into that wall, by the way, just a wall put down because they could. If Alliance wanted to continue to fight that, they would be in some trouble. They do want to continue to fight. I want to go for Blah Fu, but he's able to TP himself out.
Radiant's top tower
Crystal Main. Oh god, Crystal Main. I think you might be dead. Yeah. Good luck. Oh, Inquisitor lands an arrow upon Bulldog, though. Is able to get the kill in the end with the Visage Familiars. Will go down for it, though. One more hit will come from Aki and get the kill indeed.
That's too bad. Manta was on CD from that last Manta usage where he tried to dodge the concussive shot, so when he really needed it, which was right then to remove the Ancient Seal so he could leap away, he didn't have it. It was on 2-second CD when he died.
Yeah, S4 gets vacuumed back here. They don't have vision. Actually, they do. They have got the Gem of True Sight, but they are not getting it. They're not getting the thing. They have to actually defend their base because the tier 4 actually got picked up by creeps. In the meantime, the tier 2, of course, on the top lane already dead. And this 4 was already knocking on the tier 3 there. And the tier 2 bottom will go down now as well. On the side of aSpera. So they get more and more behind. We now have got a 13k gold lead for Alliance with the experience graph going towards the 19k in their favor, which of course translates into having almost everybody up on level 16 and higher. Just EGM who's not level 16. And of course still 2 below level 16 for aSpera, being the Crystal Main and the Visage.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
It has to be said, I mean, this draft from Alliance, non-traditional, and people might have been like, oh, they're trolling, but it works pretty well, and especially the Skywrath Mage, I think, has just done tremendous work for them. Both in the actual game, like he's been able to land these critical Ancient Seals that have given aSpera conniptions, but it also made the Storm Spirit pick that they would have loved to have, and the one that's really made their entire season work, it made it untenable, because he couldn't pick it into a Skywrath in good conscience, and so Alliance managed to essentially psych out aSpera in the draft stage, and force them to come with a composition where the replacement for the Storm Spirit, the Dragon Knight, has struggled immensely. He's 2-9.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. I mean, normally, I don't know, normally he has a way higher impact into a game than he has on a save hero. But then again, normally he plays a Storm Spirit, right? And we already know that his record with the Storm is a lot higher than his record with any other hero, and there's a reason for that. He just doesn't feel as comfortable on them. And right now, I mean, Alliance, they've got themselves another Aegis, they've got their items complete. I mean, they've got Boots of Travel on the bat, they've got a Daedalus up on S4, they've got a Veil of Discord up on EGM, and I mean, they're looking good, and they're looking good to go high ground. They've got everybody here apart from Loda, who's on his way as well. Loda, of course, with the Desolator, Assault Cuirass, Aghanim, and Jasha still. And this is just going to be Alliance's time to just, you know what, let's see if we can end it. And I think they definitely can if they play correctly.
Yep. I'm trying to find who the heck is the Aegis on.
Are fortified.
What is? Did they already use it? Sorry, am I insane?
Batrider?
Batrider, there it is.
Oh, Batrider actually grabs himself someone, grabs himself the Visage. Moonlight Shadow is trying to help out, but there's a gem, of course, on the Earthshaker, and Sentry Ward dropped as well. Still able to get himself away, though.
Yeah, very neat play. So the lasso ends up being not useful, but they can just wait 30 seconds and try again, and there won't be a Moonlight.
Dragon Tail, BKB turned on. There's no Dragon Film just yet, though, but the BKB turned on by S4 as well. Is it enough? It looks to be enough. Invisible Rune helping out as well. Loda looking for targets. Crystal Main running himself into safety again. Aegis get burned at least. That's gonna be Loda looking for the Visage. Still Visage, he lives though. Loda will get picked up there together with Aki. Looking for another one, looking for Bulldog. Boat still hits up on
Nice
3.
boat.
And is it enough? One more hit. It is not enough. Maybe still Sharvik will die. Indeed he will. Inquisitor, can he get Bulldog? Yes he can. With his illusion. But look at those health bars. Everybody's so incredibly low. And actually...
They want to finish it.
Yeah, buybacks coming out. Boots of Travel, of course, for the bat.
And the Skywrath, so they're both back.
Yep. And that's gonna be only Loda missing from this one. Dragonite buys back as well. Forced to, of course.
He's forced to, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Alliance, they took a pretty big loss there, and their lead is big enough that they have more than enough of a cushion to deal with that. So, I mean, they probably might, I don't know, the only thing about this buyback is can they do this 4v5? I feel like they still have to wait for Loda. Mostly what this does is it forces the DK buyback and it forces aSpera to stay put, but I don't think they were going anywhere anyway.
Oh, well, they grab someone. It is Inquisitor into the Mystic Flare. Down he goes. Malthusal won't save him.
That's pretty fatal. 77 seconds without Mirana.
Yeah.
He bought out, so...
Alliance, though, they're not going to pressure this.
I'm kind of surprised.
Someone
actually.
says, well played with an arrow. Oh, it is Loda. Well played to Bulldog. Well, great.
It was well played.
It was well played.
But I am surprised that they didn't win in. So Loda built the Assault Cross, but I actually think that's really useful this game. The big armor boost, their damage comes from Dragon Knight and from Mirana, and armor is going to be very good to prevent that. So I do think that the Assault Cross here was a very good choice. And with the Dezo and Assault Cross, the Jug is like an immense pushing phenomenon because he can put down the healing ward, he's healing, he's reducing the armor of the structure by, what, 12? I think any structure that Juggernaut is hitting on is going to be torn apart. Maybe that's why they don't want to push without him. They know just how big of a differential there is in tower killing speed.
Well, he comes back together with his team. So they brought some friends and they're going to try to go high ground. In the meantime, there's no tier 4 towers left standing, so if Alliance gets this, it's the end. They will just be able to get rid of the throne. Comes
Here we go.
Novas.
Look how fast this thing drops.
Yeah, the last two already grabbed someone. It's Blah Blah Foo again. Will he live once again? I don't think this time. Nope. There he goes. Gem gets dropped on the floor as well. They don't go high ground just yet though. Here comes an arrow. Actually hits up on S4. Moonlight Shadow already over. BKB turned on. Charfrig, he cannot miss out on this opportunity. He goes for it. Let's see if it's enough. Takes an Omni Slash. In comes an Echo Slam. But S4 lives. Sharfik, he will not live. Neither will his teammates. Loda gets a double kill. Down also goes Lambda. That's going to be a team wipe. And that is going to be the GG Alliance. Get themselves their last win of the season because this was their last game of the season. And they will be welcomed in Kiev in the StarLadder Finals, LAN Finals, of course, with the top 4 teams. And Alliance, the first one to be done with the season and guarantee themselves a slot. As for the rest, it's still up for debate, still up for a lot of, yeah, a couple of games tomorrow. Of course, last day tomorrow. Most important game tomorrow. If you only can watch one, make sure you watch Quantic taking on Rattlesnake International because that will be a deciding game for those two teams.
Certainly. And Alliance, yeah, 13-2. I believe this means they actually do have the best record of the season. Nobody can contest them for that. So, despite a little bit of teething problems early in the season for them where they did lose a couple games, they end up 13-2 with the best record and certainly going to be very scary as the defending champions heading into the playoffs phase.
Yeah. By the way, people, you know, kudos for sticking with us, even though the Twitch chat is just terrible. Sorry for League of Legends screwing up Dota events, but that's the way it is supposed to be apparently for the moment. And now we're gonna be smiling back on them when we are ruining their events. Sorry, I help myself. So yeah, thank you for being here. Of course, this was the last game of the evening. Vigramon, do you have any plugins or shoutouts that you want to do before we're taking off?
Nah, I got to run actually. But thank you, Sheever. Thanks to StarLadder, of course, and all the viewers in Twitch TV and Dota TV. Highly appreciate it. You can follow me, VYKROMOND, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, website, all that good stuff. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for being here, of course, Nahas, who was our stats man. You can follow him on @NahasDota on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter on @CheeverGaming. Of course, following the channel actually makes a difference, I found out recently. So please follow me on this channel to show support and to make sure that if I need support, I will get support because I have a lot of followers or something like that. Apparently that's the way it works. But support me and follow me, and we'll be back here tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow we're going to start off with a couple of games for Rapture Gaming League, including Mythtrust taking on the Titans. But the Star Ladder, of course, is going to be our main event of the day. Starting at 1700 CST time, we're going to have 6 games in total. And after that, we're going to have ourselves another best of 3 for the grand finals of a American event, Overclock. You might have heard from it, but you, of course, can find that there again tomorrow. Anyways, until then, I will play some music and commercials while we, while I'll get some tea for my voice, probably best. I would suggest you watch yourself a game of Dota on Join Dota Red. I believe the grand finals between Navi and Power Rangers is still going on there. But if you do so, make sure you tune into a different tab so you can still support me by watching some commercials. If you want to, of course. Otherwise, have a great night. Anyways, thank you for being here, and I'll be right back.